Hello, and many thanks for joining us on this edition of the program, People, Politics, and Power. A major controversy is brewing in the Nigerian education system, especially at the tertiary level. A few months ago, the National Board for Technical Education, otherwise known as the NBTE, introduced what it called an innovative online program, which allows holders of higher national diploma and the HND to elevate their qualifications to bachelor's degree in just 1 year. The NBTE styled the program TopUp in collaboration with foreign accredited universities. It says the TopUp program seeks to end the dichotomy between HND and bachelor's degrees in Nigeria through a process of credit mapping. According to the NBTE, the program is intended to enhance and build confidence of HND holders in the face of the existing dichotomy. However, the NBTE says the program is not meant for every HND holder, but only those who seek to pursue academic careers. But in a swift reaction last week, the National Universities Commission, NUC, disavowed the scheme. It said the program is neither recognized by the Nigerian university system, nor is it supported by any existing law in Nigeria. The NUC went further to say that the concerns of the NBTE over dichotomy are already being addressed as a bill for an act to abolish and prohibit dichotomy and discrimination between first degree and HND in the same profession or in the same field for the purpose of employment and other related matters was passed by the 9th National Assembly in 2021 and is awaiting presidential assent. In the meantime, the Commission maintains that there is no law that has removed the dichotomy between a university degree and HND. Besides, the NUC is insisting that the law setting it up is exclusively conferred on it the powers to superintend and regulate university education in Nigeria, including setting minimum academic standards and accrediting their programs, a function it is not ready to share with the NBTE. The question now is, who blinks first? What impact will this brewing crisis between the two foremost regulatory bodies in the education system in Nigeria have on the entire tertiary education sector? Can Nigeria's education afford this type of disruptive controversy at this point in time? These are some of the issues that we will be looking at on the program today, and we're joined virtually from Kaduna in Kaduna State by the Executive Secretary of the National Board for Technical Education, Professor Idris Bugaje. Thank you, Prof, for joining us. Hello, Prof. I hope you can hear us. All right. Also joining us virtually from here in the nation's capital, Abuja, is the Acting Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, NUC, Ambassador Chris Mayaki. Thank you, Prof, for finding time to join us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this invitation. Thank you.
Welcome. So let me begin with you, Professor Bugaje. You are the Executive Secretary of the NBTE. Now, what exactly is this TopUp program, the TopUp scheme that the NBTE is talking about? Please enlighten us a bit. Professor Bugaje, you need to unmute your microphone so that we can hear you.
Thank you very much, moderator. Yes, in Nigeria, we call it TopUp. But in those foreign universities, they call it credit transfer admission. The purpose of this TopUp basically is to allow a progression path for HND holders. Polytechnics' highest, graduates, level graduates are the HNDs. And at the moment, they have no progression path within the Polytechnic system itself. We had demanded for Master of Technology to be allowed, and even doctorate to be allowed in some of the polytechnics, as you find in South Africa. That has not happened. We have tried different avenues for progression of HND holders because the lecturers of polytechnics are supposed to have a HND background. This is their system. At the moment, 80 to 90% of the lecturers of polytechnics are from the university system. They had never gone through the polytechnic system for them to come and deliver it well to others. So we need to find a progression path. At the moment, they have to go and do PGD. And when they do the PGD and do MSc and PhD, when they come back, and they want to go and be lecturers as doctors, they want to go and be lecturers in universities, the university will ask them, where is your B.Sc? Forgetting that the PGD is supposed to replace the B.Sc. So these are the challenges that we are finding. And so we say, let's create a progression path for HND holders who want to have academic career. We have tried our local universities. NUC is not ready to cooperate. So we reach out to foreign universities. We have supplied them with the curriculum of our HND. They have found it to be very rich. Many universities are admitting our HND direct into masters. There was even a lady from Federal Polytechnic Elaro, Islamiyat Ojilede, who got PhD admission from directly after her HND. She got a distinction. She got a very good thesis, and the 7 universities in the US gave her admission to go into PhD. Our HND is well respected across the globe. It's only here in Nigeria that the Nigerian university system is looking down upon the HND products. So that's why we say, let us roll out a progression path. Let our HND holders have an opportunity to do 1 year online top-up and get this so-called B.Sc so that they can now do the master's and PhD. And let us see what excuse they would be given for the discrimination. We want the discrimination to end. A law has been enacted. We're waiting for the assent of Mr. President, and we're very confident Mr. President is going to assent to that law. Most importantly, NUC's jurisdictions within Nigeria. Those degrees we are arranging at the moment are offshore. So they are beyond the jurisdiction of the NUC. So it was just hot air they were blowing, really. There was no need for them to even issue that press statement because it was completely outside their jurisdiction. These are foreign universities among the top 1,000 universities of the world. No Nigerian university has ever reached the top 1,000. We have reached that agreement with them. They have found our HND curriculum very, very qualitative. They have created a software which will do credit mapping. When they do the credit mapping, they discover that our HND has very high laboratory content, more than the B.Sc. But there are a few theory courses which our students have to make up. And that's why they are providing it through online classes. Online is now accepted globally as across the world, for delivery of education. So that's why we have rolled this out. And this program shall run without even NBTE because it's a relationship between the applicant and the foreign university. We are only publicizing it so that HND holders would know that there is an opportunity for them to progress and acquire higher qualifications.
Professor Bugaje, when you say that the NUC has not been cooperating or has not really found this your scheme, this your program, has not keyed into it, what exactly do you mean? Did you approach the NUC? Did the NBTE approach the NUC to introduce a similar program in Nigerian universities and they refused to?
Well, you see, when even Prophet Muhammad had to make migration to Medina from Mecca, that is a point of history. So when the local, stakeholders here are not ready to recognize you, so it's better you get your recognition from outside. Then eventually we know NUC is going to buy in. I'm very sure in the next coming year or so, NUC is going to buy in because 5 or 6 Nigerian universities have already written to us that they are interested. But we have not approved because we know NUC will not allow it. 2 years ago, I wrote to the NUC through the Minister of Education, requesting for the institution of Master of Technology in some of our polytechnics to allow progression for the HND holder. 2 years, not even 1 year. That did not see the light of the day. So for that reason, when we felt frustrated, we said, let's find another alternative. We cannot allow our HND holders to continue to suffer from prejudice, from this dichotomy, undeserved, unwarranted.
All right, let me bring in Professor Chris Mayaki now, who is the acting Executive Secretary of the NUC. Now, you have heard from the NBTE ES. What exactly does the NUC hold against this scheme, this program?
Well, thank you very much. If you can hear me,
yes.
Let me first and foremost debunk the impression that there's a looming crisis and there's a dichotomy or there's a controversy. We respect the National Board for Technical Education. We respect Professor Bugaje, but some of the issues that have been flowed here, I would rather not speak about them. I think it's come here with a preconceived notion about the functioning of the NUC. So there's no, tussle, as it were. Let me say this: the law establishing the NBTE, which is the functions of the commission of the board, as contained in its enabling decree 9 of 1977, is simply to advise the federal government on and coordinate all aspects of technical, vocational education falling outside the universities. The NBTE is also empowered by law to accredit academic programs in all technical and vocational education institutions for the purpose of award of certificates and diplomas and other similar awards. This is the law establishing the NBTE. And let me quickly swing into the notion of a top-up. The top-up, presupposes that something was not properly done, something was not properly constituted. And therefore, there are missing elements that you need to make them complete. And I should inform you that the HND and the B.Sc designs don't share common curricular characteristics. At the NUC here, we believe the variation between the HND and the B.Sc is about 80%. Therefore, you cannot, or rather, how do you just simply top up or make up this huge chunk, in a top-up arrangement with foreign universities? And therefore, so that, according to the laws of the NUC, if you look at the law of the NUC, which is not just an ordinary act of parliament, it is derived from the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and vested in the commission vested, the commission is saddled with this strategic and very vital responsibility to, if I may quote from the law of the NUC, we have the powers to superintend, to regulate university education in Nigeria. We also are empowered by law to lay down the minimum academic standards in the nation's universities and other degree awarding institutions and accredit these programs. And thus, the Commission is the only constitutionally empowered regulatory body for university education in the country. I heard about the issue of NUC not cooperating. I think this is not before this program. It's not soundly based. We have had a very excellent working relationship with the NBTE, and therefore the rationale escapes me as to why this has been brought to the public court, as to whether we deal week in, week out with the NBTE. And I don't think whatever has happened in the past does not in any way obviate the need, does not obliterate the superintendence, the fact that the law takes preeminence. The law is not an emotional pack. It's not a sentimental pack. It's either you're legal or you're illegal. As I told you, it's either you're legal or you're illegal. The TopUp, as conceived by the NBTE, is illegal, and has never been designed or approved by the NUC. And for you to have any semblance of degree award, you require benchmarking by the NUC to determine the body of knowledge or the missing element to be so filled between the HND and the B.Sc. So I think there is a problem of illegality here that is being treated with levity. And I think that we need to cooperate. We need to have a handshake. We need to discuss with the NBTE so that we don't come and, the university is a unique animal, proverbially speaking, and when we saw that this constituted an act of extraterritoriality, we thought that because we will, the suggestion that the NUC will key in is not a television matter. It's a very serious academic infraction that I would rather, recommend to my older brother, Professor Bugaji, that we regroup. We sit down in a very strategic business session so that we don't plant half-truths or non-truths in very plausible tones, to mislead ordinary Nigerians. Because this is a very serious matter, and I will suggest that we come together. And I just want to say that there cannot be any controversy whatsoever. There cannot be any controversy. And on the issue of career progression, it is clearly provided for. If you have an OND, OND holders have gone straight to 200 level in the university. If you have a HND, you proceed, to 300 level. And as I have read from the law, the HND is purposefully a skill-based curriculum designed to achieve a certain threshold, middle-level manpower skills-based, whereas the B.Sc is designed to achieve another manpower goal, which is knowledge-based and at the highest level of critical thinking, meaning that you can dovetail, you can proceed, you can progress from B.Sc, MSc, and PhD, which is not the case for the HND.
Now, Ambassador, the university, the NUC, is a regulatory body for the university system in Nigeria. Does it also have the power to regulate affiliations with universities, foreign universities outside of this country? Because as the NBTE has put it, it is doing this in collaboration with universities, with institutions that are outside the shores of Nigeria. Does the power of the NUC extend to also regulating those universities?
Yes, the answer is yes. If you look at the powers of the NUC, and Professor Bugaji knows very well, the NBT knows very well that the NUC has just consummated its guidelines on transnational education. And under this, these guidelines, we have 6 competitive models: branch campuses, teaching institutions, trainings, articulation. All these are well encapsulated, properly captured. And during the launch of all these programs, we have done a good job of inviting. We do it in a multi-stakeholder collegiate. We invite all our stakeholders, and we do not treat our sister regulatory agencies with levity. And therefore, to suggest that NBTE can feel so free and unilaterally, just invite foreign providers without recourse to the extant law, I don't think it is something we need to, to overlabor on this platform. We need, as responsible agents of government or parastatals of government, we need to go back to the drawing board and sit back. And I offer, tomorrow, next tomorrow, in the next in the succeeding days, our doors are open. We need to go back to the drawing board and to recap and to re-strategize and to stop the blame game on national television. The business of education is a very serious matter, not to be thrown into the public court. I enjoin my brother to exercise restraint, to exercise caution, so that we can sit back and do something much more, not something flowery on the television. It's a very serious matter. And I said, I want to just re-emphasize that it is illegal. NBT has no locus. It is incompatible with the best practices, the external regulatory, prescriptions of the National Universities Commission. Only the NUC has the convening power. Anything to do with degree, whether it is coming from overseas, whether it is coming from within, only NUC has the convening power. And when we are approached to validate any degree emanating from this way, our answer will be in the affirmative. We will declare it illegal, we will declare it incompatible.
Well, Professor Bugaje, let me come to you now. You heard the ambassador talk about the illegality of the top-up program. And he says also that there is already an existing career progression for HND holders in the system.
Thank you for that. Well, my brother Chris Mayaki, I can understand why he's trying to protect his territory, the degree awarding territory. But the point is, as you mentioned, Mr. Moderator, NUC has no jurisdiction by law outside the shores of Nigeria. If they have that jurisdiction, why don't they go to Cotonou and stop those 3-month, 4-month degree awarding institutions from operating? They don't have jurisdiction. This is entirely an offshore program. There's a department in the Federal Ministry of Education that carries that assignment. They are called Division for Evaluation and Accreditation. That is, when you finish your degree program, they can now look at the content and decide whether your degree is accredited or not. Those top-up universities overseas who are offering their service as 10% of the tuition fees of a regular program are among the top 1,000 universities of the world. I mentioned this earlier. And the admission process is offshore. The award of the degree is offshore. NBTE has no hand in it, except that we supplied our curriculum. And those foreign universities have seen value in our curriculum. And they agreed that within 1 year, 2 semesters, the theory gaps can be breached. And I have mentioned examples whereby foreign universities are given our HND direct admission into postgraduate programs without even a PGD. So this is an issue which should be very clear to every Nigerian. NUC is overstepping its bounds, but NBT is ready to have a meeting. We belong to the same ministry. If the NUC Executive Secretary did not go to the media last week to issue that press release, this interview wouldn't have been holding.
But so you already went to the media. You already went
Yeah,
to the media. You already went to the media,
yeah.
and
So
we
the point is, we
we
are
cannot
ready
fold
to
our
sit with the
arms.
NUC. We are ready to sit with all other stakeholders so that we can resolve this issue. But this program is outside our control, is run offshore. Those who are interested can join and acquire a foreign bachelor degree. But at the end of the day, we are advising the Minister of Education that if the federal government is not ready to remove the dichotomy between B.Sc and HND, let the federal government scrap the HND entirely. Let our polytechnics run national diploma. After a national diploma, let them go and do the Bachelor of Technology. If Nigerians are crazy for degrees, they don't see the value for the HND. And this discrimination is, we are not bringing an end to it. So in that case, let us scrap the HND completely. Ghana has done it. Today, all Ghanaian polytechnics, they do national diploma and they do the Bachelor of Technology honors. If you go to South Africa, 20 years ago, I did my sabbatical leave in South Africa when I finished my term as rector of Nasarawa Polytechnic. I went there for 1 year, and they do ND, HND, B.Tech, M.Tech, Doctor of Technology. And there are professors in those polytechnics. There is no limit. There is no, the progression path is open. Sky is the limit. So Nigeria should take either the Ghanaian model or we take the South African model. To me, probably I will advise the new minister should please advise the president to scrap the HND if the dichotomy is not going to be removed, so that polytechnics will be offering national diploma to train technicians, and then we'll go for Bachelor of Technology, a skills-oriented Bachelor of Technology. Globally, employers of labor across the world, they are looking for hands-on skills, not paper qualifications. And that's what our HND is all about. But if it's not being recognized, if there is a limit to their progression in the public service, at the moment HND holder is limited to only grade level 14. He cannot become a director in the ministry. He cannot become a permanent secretary. He cannot even become a head of service. This is discrimination at the highest level. So we are calling on government that if this discrimination cannot be ended, let us scrap the entire HND and let everybody award a degree so that we become a country of paper qualifications. And then this, of course, will tell on our development. This will tell on industrialization of Nigeria. But if that's the way to go, to remove this kind of discriminatory system, why not? So the options are open to the government to decide. But NBTE is ready anytime for dialogue with NUC, for dialogue with all other stakeholders. We are ready. We have an open mind, but we are not going to relent in protecting the best of our product, which is the HND.
Ambassador Beyaki, I'm aware that the 9th National Assembly did pass the HNDBSc dichotomy bill. Now, what is the status of that bill today, as of today? Because it was not assented to by President Buhari before he left office, which is one of the...
Well,
yes.
Let me say this. Each time I speak about preemptory action, the process of legislation, the structure of government. Any bill that does not see the light of the day does not constitute, there is no other primordial action or platform that can legalize what has not been consummated, or given action by Mr. President. Let me also make it very clear that any genuine attempt, to scrap the dichotomy or to make the entry point into the public service of the HND and to bring parity between the HND and the B.Sc, we have no problem with that. They are so deserving. The HND holders are so deserving of some recognition, some status. But we're just saying that, you can't mix mangoes with apples. The HND curriculum is completely different from the B.Sc curriculum. And let me say this. Let me emphasize that we have no problem, if genuinely, there's any paradigm shift by government, to enhance the status of HND holders. But we think that this is a matter that must be properly done. It's not something that that can be done in the social media or on national television. And on the issue of who went to the media first, I told you, we received instructions from the Federal Ministry of Education that there is, a social media announcement by NBTE, and that NUC is duty bound to respond to this, and that's why we owe the public a duty. And therefore, and the ES of NBTE, the letter was addressed to him, and it was copied the NUC to issue a statement. And we are proud to have issued that statement because the move is preemptory. There are risks associated with opening up our borders to foreign providers. The content, the delivery, these things in every country have protocols. They must be seen to be of comparable standards. Quality is why we exist. We exist to enforce quality. The notion that every program, every provision into our university space, into our country must be seen to be operating at full strength. And this is the reason why we issued that response to the NBTE, because it was the NBTE that, that went to the social media. NBTE didn't consult the NUC. They didn't say, oh, look, we're doing TopUp. I mean, you would have thought that as a sister organization, regulatory agency, that we've been so cordial. The director of the NBTE in Abuja is in NUC every other week. You would have thought that we will resolve this matter in-house. But unilaterally, NBTE went to the press, and following instructions from the Minister of Education, we had no choice but to issue that and to use the occasion to re-echo, the preeminence of the laws establishing the NUC. And we stand by the laws of the NUC. We, stand by the statement that we have made, and we will not be party to perpetuating illegality. And like I said, believe me, the NUC has nothing against HND holders. They are so deserving. Let me emphasize, they are so deserving. Any genuine attempt by government of the powers that be for a paradigm shift that is fit for purpose, the NUC, I do not see what would benefit from opposing that. And I want to assure my big brother, Professor Bugadir, that we should be seen to be, we value the power partnership. It should be a win-win situation. We don't want to come to the public to be stirring the mud water. No, this is not the intention.
Now, Ambassador, how do you respond to the NBTE when he says that it's only a division of the Federal Ministry of Education, that is the Evaluation and Accreditation Division, that has the powers to accredit these foreign universities?
Well, let me say this. The issue of recognition, the issue of harmonization, the issue of evaluation, is a very serious matter that has been taken up at the highest level of UNESCO. Nigeria is a signatory to the Convention on, qualification framework. And the NUC, with the Ministry of Education, have worked very closely. Of course, if you go to Cotonou and Cotonou recognizes a university, we cannot be seen to be extraterritorial. That's their prerogative. That is what their law says. But in the same vein, the NUC law as well confers responsibility, a very weighty one for that matter, that we must assure ourselves of the content, the quality of what the Nigerian unsuspecting public is being fed with. There must be a protocol. And that's the point being made. And I'm not saying that we can go to Cotonou and yes, the ministry has a checklist of universities that are approved, as foreign universities. Yeah, that's simple. You don't even need to go to anywhere. Just go online if you want to know British approved universities, just go online, go to QAA, Quality Assurance Agency of the UK, go to their portal, go to the Office of Students. If you want to go to the United States of America, go to the Council for Higher Education Accreditation portal. You will see all the universities that have that are legally recognized in those host countries of origin. The point being made is the legality or otherwise of that they can just that they can be at liberty to just move into this country. And you know that even the one that my brother alluded to, the Hundigwe University in Benin Republic, we've had a running battle. Imagine, a foreign university based in Benin Republic, mounting a program in medicine that is of no comparable standard with the Nigerian medical education standards. They even have to rent some quad places in Lagos for their clinicals. I mean, you're dealing with human lives. This is not a matter to be treated with levity, and therefore we owe this country, we owe the public a duty to quality assure whatever is coming into Nigeria. And as far as the NBTE is concerned, I already read out the laws of the NUC. The NBTE has no business with university education. They have no business with university education. They should leave it, they should confine themselves to the laws establishing the NBTE, and then leave the rest to the NUC. And like I said, if there are any leftover issues, if there are residual issues that, that rough edges that we need to smoothen, I want to assure my brother, Professor Bugaji, and the public that we genuinely serve. We're public servants, that we can go into the boardroom and sit down, the two managements can, smoothen these rough edges. And I'm sure we shouldn't leave the most important things at the mercy of the least important. The legality of this whole thing is of paramount importance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is extraneous, it is illegal, it is unidirectional. It does not, lend credence, to the extant laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I think this is the way forward.
All right, Professor Bugaji, let me come to you. Two related questions very quickly. Why is the TopUp program only 1 year? Why not 2 years or even more? And the second question is the NBTE deriving any financial benefits from this program, this scheme?
Well, a quick answer. The TopUp program is 1 year because Nigerian HND curriculum is very rich, recognized by those foreign universities, and they have done credit mapping. And they have found a very heavy dose of laboratories and hands-on, courses. They say the only difference between the B.Sc and our HND are some theory courses, which could be covered within 1 year, online 2 semesters. It's the decision of those universities, and each of those universities is among the top 1,000 ranking, a ranking which Nigerian universities have not even reached. So that is it for that. The second one you ask about what is it about, please?
If NBTE is deriving any financial benefits.
There is not a single naira financial benefit. I'm aware of some people who even wrote to some of these government agencies, and it has been confirmed that NBTs do not drive any financial benefit. The only thing is we are trying to facilitate and help our HND products to progress. But I must ask a question. My brother Chris Mayaki asked about mango and apples. I must ask him, who are the mangoes and who are the apples? For what I know, every innovation in science and technology was carried out, especially area of engineering and technology, was carried out by technicians and technologists. None of the inventions of the past, with the exception of color television, none of them came from any university. The first industrial revolution in Europe, 1974, James Watt developed the steam engine. He started his work in 1769, concluded it in 1774. He was a technician. The development of the discovery of electricity by Benjamin Franklin, 1752. He was not a professor from any university. The diesel engine developed in 1896 by Rudolf Diesel from Germany. He was also a technician. So the point is, if Nigeria wants to develop, if Nigeria wants to churn out technology that we can call Nigerian, we must give Polytechnic the necessary attention. We must give Polytechnics a progression path. All the researchers of the Nigerian universities, let them tell us a single product that is on the table today in Nigeria that you can call a Nigerian technology. This could have been the other way around. If Nigerian polytechnics had been properly funded, we would have reached beyond the limits, beyond the levels that we are today. So there is no mango, there is no apple. Let us work together as a team. We are all working for the betterment of Nigeria, for the development of science and technology in Nigeria, and polytechnics cannot be ignored. Anybody who ignores polytechnics in technology development, it will be to the detriment of the development of this our dear nation. So we are ready to work. We are ready to work together with NUC to resolve these issues. And I hope at the end of the day, NUC will approve Nigerian universities to join this TopUp, because about 6 of them have already indicated interest. We couldn't accommodate them because we wanted people to see what is happening with our offshore program. Then we can accommodate them if only NUC can give them the go ahead. But please and please, let us stop this prejudice against HND. Let us recognize them as the link that can bring industrial revolution to Nigeria. Let us not deride them. Let us give them all opportunities so that they can reach to the highest level of their career. Let us not put, impediments to that progress. Thank you.
Now, Prof, that takes us to the issue of the state of polytechnics in Nigeria today. There is this feeling that there is a proliferation of polytechnics, both by private individuals and even by state governments, that are ill-equipped to carry out the responsibilities that you have just described.
Yeah. Well, the number of polytechnics in Nigeria is very low. The total is just below 200, about 160. You have over 200 universities. For every university graduate in engineering, in a properly managed economy, you require 5 technicians and technologists, which means the ratio of universities to polytechnics should be in the ratio of 1 to 5. So for that reason, I am calling on the federal government to convert some of those universities to polytechnics, to equip them properly. Our present polytechnics are poorly equipped. We need to, go and see state-of-the-art equipment. Skills development, which should be the centerpiece of our training in polytechnics, is handicapped because we are using very old equipment both in the 1970s and 1980s. So there is need for government to invest more into Tibet. I'm very confident President Tinubu is going to do that because he has made Tibet, technical vocational education and training, one of the pillars of his administration. There should be more budgetary allocation to polytechnic education. There should also be more TET fund allocation because at the moment, they are given twice what they give polytechnics, they give twice that amount to the universities, which is not fair. If you are setting up one department take Department of Chemical Engineering in a polytechnic, the money you require to set that department will be 5 times what you require to set up a Department of Sociology in a university, or even 10 times. So for that reason, polytechnics should be more funded by TET fund. Polytechnics should also get more budgetary allocation so that we can develop these workshops, laboratories needed to bring out modern, skilled, manpower for the country. So there is need for more budget, more allocation, and more commitment to technical and vocational education. Today, you have so many degree holders without jobs, roaming the streets. If we had invested into polytechnics, if we had given them skills qualification, they can even find jobs beyond the borders of Nigeria. Today, Nigeria is delivering infrastructural projects by importing skilled labor because polytechnics have been neglected. We have not been producing the required welders, pipe fitters, and other skilled labor needed by the oil and gas industry. The Dangote refinery is there. Thousands of skilled workers were brought from India. The AKK gas pipeline is there. The Mambila project, 50,000 skilled workers are needed. So there is need for government to strategize. Let's give more attention to technical colleges and polytechnics. Let more Nigerian youth go through this sector, because this is a sector that will produce ready for employment graduates. Degree holders are not ready for employment in industry. So there is need for more investment in our polytechnics and our colleges, technical colleges across the country.
Thank you so much. Ambassador Meyake, let me bring you in now and to ask you a similar question. What is the vision of the NUC for the universities and the university system in Nigeria along the lines of contributing maximally to Nigeria's development?
Well, you have hit the point, the mission of the university, the central role of the university. I heard my brother talk about the trajectory under which various technicians were behind some of the inventions in the world. We recognize that whatever accomplishments of the technicians or role that they have played over the years I don't think is the intention of this meeting to desecrate that or to devalue the roles of technicians or technologists, as it were. I also the sentiments have also been canvassed as to whether universities should be converted to polytechnics. I think that the British would like to hear that, because in 1992 it was the then Margaret Thatcher, who led her government to convert all polytechnics, and that's why into universities. So if you take Cranfield, for instance, if you take the University of the West of England, or De Montfort, or Nottingham Trent, these were all polytechnics. But as to the pivotal role of the university, I like to use the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. I think it was her who gave the loudest expression as to the pivotal role of the university in any given circumstance. When the United Kingdom was exiting, the European Union. You remember the so-called Brexit? The country was divided along ideological lines. There was a lot of hue and cry. A lot of hopelessness, despair as to what will happen to the United Kingdom if they were to exit the European Union. But it was at that defining moment that Theresa May, the Right Honourable Theresa May, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, it was at that auspicious occasion that she retorted, that she actually boasted to the nation that if the United Kingdom was going to lose out completely as a result of exiting the European Union, that Great Britain will fall back on its university system to reinvent the United Kingdom. And that's, to emphasize the very pivotal role. I mean, universities have evolved over the years. I mean, I don't think it is for us here to argue about the centrality of university education. No, I don't think space and time will even allow us here. But I want to assure you that as a National Universities Commission, we are, the NUC, since the early 60s, we celebrated our 61 years as worked tirelessly, and proudly to coordinate, that very unique constituency, that is preoccupied with the business of teaching, research and community action at the highest level of critical thinking. And we have done this by broadening access. We have just re-engineered our curriculum, and even some of the missing elements alluded to have now been, incorporated in our core curriculum and minimum academic standards that was launched by the former Vice President on the 5th of December 2022. We have infused some elements of entrepreneurship and skills development, elements of digital literacy, blended learning, etc. And we, because the university enterprise must be seen to be demonstrating those elements, those characteristics that make them truly international. That's why the NUC launched the transnational education guidelines. Gone are the days where we will shut our doors. We have now opened up, but of course, to genuine, well-meaning, and quality assured providers to come into the Nigerian space. And the rules will apply. The rules will apply. I mean, we received a university last week, and they want to come and establish a teaching institution in Nigeria. And they're going to teach medicine. And the big question is the curriculum of comparable standards? Are we going to enjoy the benefits of the learning ecosystem obtainable in those, countries of origin, of their countries of origin? Is that what is going to be replicated here in Nigeria? And therefore, for us, there are promising opportunities for the university subsector. It is one sector that holds the promise for the future of this country. And the NUC has continued to work with stakeholders, including NBTE, to make sure that we move this country forward. And we work in a very consultative, in a very multi-stakeholder platform at each given time, with the support of government at the highest level, so that we can elevate our university brand and our university system to that system that is responsive, that is responsible, that is competitive. And let me quickly react to the issue of joblessness. That the lack of investment in technology or TVET. Look, I argue, Mr. Moderator, that even if we were to bring back the best, TVET trained graduates into Nigeria, one thing we always forget is that the issue of unemployment is multifaceted. That even if you brought back the graduates of Cranfield, for instance, or the Polytechnic University of Hong Kong, or Harvard, or Princeton, or Berkeley, or Oxford, or Cambridge, or Imperial, if you brought them back to Nigeria, and the economy has not been rejigged, the economy has not been repositioned, and the absorptive capacity of the economy has not been, attended to, there is no way this experts, so-called experts, can get employed anywhere. And therefore, I think there are other concomitants to the problem of unemployment. And one of them is that the economy must be seen to be, absorptive, must be virile, must be functioning, at the fullest of all strengths.
All right, Ambassador, before I let you go, one quick question. Are there still illegal universities in Nigeria? Are there still universities in Nigeria that are operating illegally outside of the accreditation of the NUC?
Oh yeah. If you have a chance to read our Monday bulletin, this is a bulletin we issue every Monday without fail. If you are not on our mailing list, it's also in the public domain on our website. I will make it a point of duty that every Monday AIT gets a copy. You will see where we have named and shamed and blacklisted what we call the degree mills, illegal institutions, unauthorized, unapproved, because they have no business operating in Nigeria. They are just quacks, perpetuating quackery and capitalizing on the ignorance of unsuspecting, members of the public. And for that matter, we have had to, in recent months, put up a standing committee, to fight illegal, unauthorized, and approved universities that are operating in Nigeria. They're called degree mills in higher education parlance, globally. And this is under the superintendence of chairmanship of a senior advocate of Nigeria, a professor of law, Professor Etienne, the immediate past vice chancellor of the University of Uyo, and we're working, together with, security agencies, the ICPC, the police, and local communities, community leadership, local authorities in the state or localities where they operate, where we hope. And what we do, we devise our own means and penetrate their operations, and we've declared them illegal, and whereby we continue to publish them, as illegal. Yeah. So yeah, the answer is yes. There are, illegal, unauthorized, and unapproved degree awarding institutions are, capitalizing and operating in the Nigerian space, and we will not stand by as NUC to watch them perpetuate illegality. We will continue to expose them. We will continue to advertise so that the public is wary, is put on notice as to the implications. Imagine a graduate of medicine from an illegal or quack university operating you on the operating table. Just imagine what will happen to you. Is that serious a matter?
It's better imagined than experienced.
It's better imagined. Yeah, it's better imagined. And this is
thank you
why
so much, Ambassador.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our time is up. I must thank you, Ambassador Chris Meyaki. He's the Acting Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, NUC. And, of course, we had Professor Idris Bugaje, who is the Executive Secretary of the National Board for Technical Education, who joined us all the way from Kaduna in Kaduna State. Prof, thank you so much for your time.
A pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, and to you, our viewers out there, we want to thank you for investing your time with us. Join us again when we bring you a fresh edition of the program People, Politics, and Power. Bye for now.